When it comes to growing your own fruit and veg at home, in fact, herbs as well, you don't have to be limited to having garden beds to be able to grow them. In fact, if you don't have a lot of room, growing them in pots like this can be incredibly productive, and it looks great too. But there are some tips to success that you need to be aware of. Last spring, for the Garden Gurus TV series, I set these planter pots up. We like to call this companion planting, where certain plants, when combined, grow better than they would on their own. The combination I've used include chilies, tarragon, tomatoes, mint and basil. The first step in getting the best results is to ensure that you have a reasonable sized pot. You need a decent volume of soil, and not all soils are the same. A premium quality potting mix achieves the red tick of the Australian standards. The science that goes into these special soils is amazing, and just as well. Now, this soil's got slow release and controlled release fertilisers, and it's a complex blend of minerals and micro and macronutrients which are essential to strong, healthy plant growth. Most importantly, when you're consuming the produce, essential to strong, healthy bodies. Now, this has all occurred because I've used a premium quality red tick potting mix. But just over here, I've used a cheap potting mix, and I'll show you the results. This pot used the same volume of soil, the same premium quality plants, and this tomato is trying to produce quality fruit. But there's something terribly wrong with them. And if this happened to you, or is happening to you now, you need to understand why. Can you imagine how disappointed you'd be if this was your crop of tomatoes? Now, it did have a potting mix that was good enough to get the growth, albeit you'll notice the plant's quite yellow compared to the other plants that were grown in premium potting mix. This isn't caused by an insect or caused by a fungus. It's actually caused by a lack of calcium, and it's causing all the fruit to rot. Known as blossom end rot and found in plants like capsicum, tomato and chilies, the point of the flower blossom starts rotting whole, which ruins the fruit. So how do you end up with beautiful harvests just like this and avoid that problem with blossom end rot? Well, it's simple. You add calcium into the soil, and you'll do that by adding garden lime or dolomite into your soils. Or if you're down in the coast, you're probably better to be using gypsum. It's pH neutral. This will add, well, soluble calcium into the plant's diet, meaning it's stronger and healthier. And the real message here is we are what we eat. So we need to make sure we put lots of richness, goodness, minerals and nutrients into the soil so that it comes through the plants and the crop, and we end up with that in our bodies.